Bobby Bare's rise to fame in country music was anything but easy. Born in Iron, Ohio, in 1935, he grew up during the Great Depression, a time when poverty gripped America. The daily struggles of life for Bobby were nothing short of harsh: cold bread and lard for meals, and winter nights spent huddled in rough potato sacks for warmth. His early childhood was marked by hardship and tragedy when his mother died from exhaustion when he was just 5 years old. She had given everything to keep her family going during the most difficult of times. After her death, Bobby was separated from his siblings, and he quickly learned a painful lesson: never expect anyone to stay. Life for him was a battle for survival, and childhood dreams had little place in the reality of his circumstances. The early loss that shaped his music. When Bobby was just a teenager, he faced the devastating loss of Linda, a young woman he had fallen deeply in love with. The car accident that took her life instantly shattered what little hope he had left. Linda's death crushed the remaining pieces of Bobby's youth, and during her funeral, he did not cry out loud, but sat in silence, clutching his guitar. It was at that moment that Bobby's sorrowful ballad style was born. Music became his outlet for grief and pain, a way to express what words could not. The first song he wrote, born from his anguish, was not meant to be a hit, but a way to endure the pain of his loss. From that moment, Bobby's ability to turn life's cruelest moments into powerful music began to define his career. Struggles on the road to Nashville. Despite the pain and hardships, Bobby Bare never gave up on his dream of making music. The 1950s were marked by years of struggle, as Bobby drifted from town to town, hoping to catch a break. He lived in a battered car through freezing nights, surviving on stale bread or leftovers from bars just to stay alive. Nashville, the heart of country music, was not kind to him. The city's music scene was about appearances, and Bobby didn't fit the mold. He had the voice, but it wasn't the polished, marketable sound that Nashville was looking for. Every time Bobby approached a record label, he was told that he wasn't what they needed. He was too rough around the edges, too honest for a world driven by image and profit. Yet, despite these harsh rejections, Bobby kept going, driven by a deep need to express his pain through music. The Bitter Betrayal, a hit stolen. In 1958, Bobby Bare's first big break came with a song titled The All-American Boy. It was a sarcastic jab at the rising rock idol culture, but it was also a reflection of Bobby's frustration with an industry that seemed to care more about image than talent. The song became a hit, but Bobby never saw the rewards of his hard work. Instead of being credited as the artist, a DJ named Bill Parsons took the credit and the royalties, leaving Bobby with nothing. The betrayal cut Bobby deeply. He had poured his soul into that song, only to have it stolen by someone with better connections. Bobby's dreams were shattered, and for the first time in his life, he considered quitting music altogether. He enlisted in the military, leaving behind his guitar and the broken pieces of his dreams. A lost dream, years in the military. The years Bobby spent in the military did not heal the wound caused by the theft of his song. Instead, they only served to pause the pain. During his time in the barracks, Bobby heard the All-American Boy playing on the radio, with his own voice being sung by someone else. Fellow soldiers would sing along, unaware that the man sitting beside them was the true creator of the song. Bobby never corrected them. He remained silent, retreating further into the shadows of his own life. When he returned to Nashville in the early 1960s, the city had changed. People knew his voice, but no one acknowledged him. His career was still stalled, and the bitterness from his earlier experiences lingered in his music. A new beginning with RCA. In the early 1960s, Bobby Bare's music finally caught the attention of RCA, and in 1962, he signed with the label. It was a turning point in his career, though it came later than he had hoped. His first major success with RCA came in 1963 with the release of Detroit City, a song that resonated deeply with the struggles of working-class Americans. The song was about a man working in a Detroit factory, dreaming of home, but too proud to admit his failure. For Bobby, it was a song about himself and his own struggles. The song became a massive hit, and in 1964, Bobby won a Grammy for Best Country and Western Recording. Finally, after years of fighting for recognition, Bobby was celebrated for his artistry. The lonely victory, winning without anyone to share it. Bobby's victory with Detroit City and his Grammy win should have been the culmination of his long and painful journey. Yet, when Bobby sat alone in his hotel room on the night of the awards, he was overwhelmed by a deep sense of loneliness. Despite his success, there was no one there to share the moment with. The golden trophy sat on the table, but it didn't bring him the joy he had imagined. Bobby's success had come at a great personal cost, and he realized that the recognition he had fought for so long was bittersweet. He was still that lonely boy from Iron, Ohio, longing for something more than the empty applause of a world that had never fully embraced him. The price of honesty in a manufactured world. Throughout his career, Bobby Bear's music had always been rooted in honesty. He didn't sing about abstract pain. He sang because he had lived it. His music was raw and real, a reflection of his own life and struggles. But in a world that valued marketability over truth, Bobby's authenticity often worked against him. He didn't fit the typical image of a country star, and his refusal to conform to the industry's expectations made it difficult for him to find lasting success. Even when he did find success, it was often bittersweet, marked by betrayals and loneliness. Bobby Bear's life and career were a testament to the price an artist pays for being too honest in a world that demands fabrication. Bobby Bear's legacy, a voice for the lost. Despite the challenges he faced, Bobby Bear's legacy is one of resilience and authenticity. His voice became the voice of a generation, telling stories of loss, loneliness, and survival. He didn't sing for fame or fortune. He sang because it was the only way he knew how to express his pain. His music was a refuge for others who were struggling, a reminder that they were not alone. But for Bobby, the pain of his past never fully healed. His career was marked by highs and lows, and the industry that once rejected him ultimately discarded him once again. As Nashville changed and country music evolved, Bobby Bear faded into the background, forgotten by the very city that once celebrated him. His life and career are a stark reminder of the cost of being an artist in a world that values image over substance. The quiet end of a legendary voice. In his later years, Bobby Bear lived in relative silence, far removed from the spotlight that once shone on him. The industry that had once turned its back on him no longer had a place for slow storytellers like him. The Nashville he had fought so hard to be a part of had moved on, leaving him behind. But even as he faded from public view, Bobby's music remained a powerful reminder of the honesty and pain that shaped his life. He may have been forgotten by many, but for those who truly understood his music, Bobby Bear will always be remembered as one of the greatest voices in country music history. A man who lived through loss and pain and channeled those experiences into songs that still resonate today.